Paris Saint-Germain had a different kind of summer in 2025. No chaos, no leaks, no midnight flights to close deals. No here we go panic. Just a plan, executed like clockwork. While other clubs fought over targets, PSG stayed calm. 3 signings, 3 precise moves, around 103 million euros spent. Champions acting like champions. That's the story of PSG's summer. Lucas Chevalier, Illia Zabarnyi, and Renato Marin. 3 players who fit the system. 3 pieces that balance today and tomorrow. No headlines about who they missed. No confusion about who starts. Everything made sense. Let's start with Lucas Chevalier, the new number 1. Signed from Lille for 40 million euros. Only 23 years old, already one of France's best goalkeepers. His rise has been fast, but not surprising. You could see it coming. At Lille, he became a symbol of consistency. In the 2024-25 season, he recorded 11 clean sheets, the second most in Ligue 1. He played every single league minute. Only 5 goalkeepers managed that. His goals conceded ratio was just over 1 per game, and he made 147 saves in all competitions. That's top 10 in Europe's top 5 leagues. Not a flashy keeper, not one for highlight reels, just a solid, complete performer. When PSG came calling, it was clear what they wanted. Reliability. Donnarumma had the big name, but he also had moments of doubt. The club needed stability. Luis Enrique saw Chevalier as the answer, and he didn't waste time proving it. In his first week, Enrique made a statement. Donnarumma wasn't even in the UEFA Super Cup squad. Chevalier started instead. That decision shocked some people, but it sent a message. PSG weren't picking names anymore. They were picking roles. Chevalier has already shown why. 4 clean sheets in his first 6 Ligue 1 games. A save percentage close to 70, commanding in the air, quick off his line. But most of all, calm. He doesn't panic. He doesn't shout for attention. He does his job every minute. He's also better suited to Enrique's style. PSG play out from the back, and Chevalier is confident with his feet. He takes smart touches, keeps the rhythm, and gives defenders an option. He's the kind of goalkeeper who makes a backline relax. You can see it in the way they play. They don't rush anymore. If you're a PSG fan, you've seen the difference. The anxiety is gone. There's no guessing game over who starts in goal. Chevalier owns that spot now, and when your defense trusts your goalkeeper, everything in front of them gets cleaner. You attack better when you defend calmly. Now move to Illia Zabarnyi. The Rock, the 63 million euro man, Ukrainian international, 22 years old. Signed from Bournemouth after 3 excellent Premier League seasons. You read that right, Bournemouth. Not the flashiest club, but one that gave him a platform to grow. He made 86 appearances there. No drama, no injuries, no dips. Just solid defending every week. He helped Bournemouth finish 9th in the 2024-25 season, their best ever Premier League finish. That's not luck. That's leadership. He even won their Player of the Season award, which says a lot for a defender. Now he's in Paris, and you can tell why PSG paid so much. Zabarnyi isn't just strong. He's smart. At 189 centimeters and 80 kilograms, he has the size to dominate in duels, but it's his composure that stands out. He doesn't dive in. He reads the field, anticipates danger, and cuts attacks early. That's why Luis Enrique likes him. Statistically, he fits PSG perfectly. Among all Premier League defenders last season, Zabarnyi ranked 3rd in progressive play rate and 4th in long pass accuracy. That means he doesn't just stop opponents. He starts attacks. He breaks lines, switches play, and keeps tempo. Enrique wants his defenders to think like midfielders. Zabarnyi does that naturally. His first matches in Paris proved it. Against Nantes, he looked like he'd been there for years. No panic under pressure. Always available for the short pass. His timing was clean. Lucas Beraldo, his center-back partner, praised him after the game, calling him an incredible player who fits right in. That's rare praise after one game. Marquinhos is still the leader, but you can see the shift starting. Zabarnyi is being groomed for the next phase. He's not the loudest player, but he leads by example. That's the kind of presence PSG needed. Quiet confidence, not chaos. The smart thing is how PSG timed it. They didn't wait for Marquinhos to decline, they signed his replacement early. Zabarnyi will learn beside him, then take over naturally. No panic, no scramble for a new captain in 2 years. This is how stable clubs operate. Now for the wild card, Renato Marin. Only 19, but already on PSG's radar for the future. A goalkeeper with Brazilian roots and Italian discipline. He joined from Roma on a free transfer after his contract ended. No fee, no hype, but a lot of potential. Marin's background is interesting. Born in São Paulo, moved to Italy as a teenager. Joined Roma's academy in 2020. At 17, he was already their Primavera starter. By 19, he had played 39 matches in a season, with 13 clean sheets. He also made 13 appearances for Italy's U19 side. That's serious experience for a player his age. He's tall, 1.93 meters, agile, good with both feet. Coaches say he's mature beyond his age. PSG didn't bring him to play right away. They brought him to grow. He's been given the number 89 shirt and placed in a development plan under Chevalier. That's the kind of foresight top clubs need. While others buy backups, PSG build them. In a few years, Marin could be the next number 1, or he could become a valuable asset if they decide to sell. Either way, the club wins. That's what makes this signing smart. Free transfer, high upside, no risk. When you look at all 3 signings together, it's a clear strategy. Chevalier is the present. Zabarnyi is the core. Marin is the future. It's a full defensive rebuild without anyone calling it that. Subtle, but effective. This is how PSG operate now. Gone are the days of chasing megastars. They're building structure instead of marketing campaigns. After Mbappé left, the club stopped being a brand experiment and became a real football team again. Luis Enrique deserves credit for that shift. He's brought focus and balance. The best part? They finished their transfer business early. While other clubs were still negotiating in August, PSG had their full squad in training. That gave Enrique time to build chemistry and prepare systems. Timing is underrated in football, but it changes everything. You can see the difference in how they started the season. They beat Tottenham in the UEFA Super Cup. Chevalier made crucial saves. Zabarnyi was composed under pressure. The defense looked organized. Then came the League One games, steady wins, clean sheets, and control. It's all connected to the transfer window. Preparation beats panic. Now, it's worth comparing to Newcastle since they had the opposite summer. They spent €241 million, 5 signings, constant leaks, a reputation for chaos. People online called them Rejection FC. Somehow, they still ended with a strong squad, but the path there was messy. PSG's approach was the opposite. No drama, no public rejections, no last-minute deals. They identified what they needed early and signed exactly that. Goalkeeper, defender, future prospect, done. Newcastle went loud. PSG went smart. And here's the thing. PSG spent less than half as much but might have improved more. Their $103 million went into players who will define the next 5 years. Not short-term excitement, long-term control. That's how you build dominance, not just hype. Chevalier is already proving to be a foundational signing. Zabarnyi brings modern defending to a club that once relied too heavily on individuals. Marin ensures the future is covered. Each one adds value now and later. This is what being European champions looks like. Not splashing money for headlines, but improving with purpose. It's a reminder that smart recruitment wins more than big budgets. Luis Enrique's system depends on trust, and now he has it across the backline. The players fit his philosophy: high pressing, quick build-up, and clean possession. You can see it in the numbers. PSG lead League One in passing accuracy and progressive play through the middle third. That doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of having players who understand the system. The best part is how sustainable it looks. PSG used to feel like a collection of short-term signings. Now they look like a project with layers. Every new player has a role. Every position has depth. You don't sense panic anywhere. So what comes next? Chevalier is still developing. Zabarnyi will grow into a defensive leader. Marin will shadow them both. Together, they could define the next era of PSG. And that's the bigger story here. PSG are no longer buying to prove something. They're buying to sustain something. They're not reacting to losses. They're preparing for success. When a club reaches that level of confidence, it becomes difficult to stop. You could say this was PSG's quietest transfer window in years. No shouting, no headlines, no leaks. Yet it might turn out to be their most important. Because sometimes the best windows aren't loud. They're the ones where everything simply fits. 3 players. 1 clear direction. Chevalier securing the present. Zabarnyi shaping the defense. Marin representing the future. PSG didn't spend the most money. They spent it best. And for a club often accused of style without substance, that's a big shift. Maybe the biggest one yet. So, the question now, who in Europe looks better prepared? Real Madrid? City? Bayern? Or the new PSG, calm, balanced, and quietly building something that could last for years? Because if this summer proved anything, it's that Paris learned how to win without shouting about it. And that might be their most dangerous weapon yet.